Hi everyone, I wanted to come on today to talk about mindful presence and simplicity. I was thinking about what simplicity means to me, and I think what it means is going through complexity but finding the simplicity in the complexity. So it's not about getting rid of anything that is complex in our lives, because right now everything seems complex. Everyone is confused in the collective. You know, what is going on? What is going on in the world? What is going on in our personal lives? Our brains are confused. There's so much coming at us that we can't make sense of a lot of it. So how do we, connect back to simplicity when there's so much complexity in the world? From my own practice, I think the breath for me is a gateway into simplicity. So when I connect mindfully to the breath, I notice the inhalation and the exhalation coming in and out of my nostrils. Or you can notice the inhalation and exhalation in the chest area, the stomach area, rising and falling, rising and falling. Now, our brains are very complex. Our thoughts can feel very difficult. So we will get distracted in thoughts, and we will get distracted from the breath. But it's a practice, right? It's called mind training for a reason. We're training the mind to come back to the breath very gently. Gently does it. Gently bring the mind back to focusing on the breath. So for me, the breath is where I gather all my energies. I ground. I feel a sense of relief from everything that's happening in the external world. Every complexity, everything that I am confused about, that I have no answers for. And the breath helps me to bring my attention back to notice the inhalation and the exhalation, to notice the pause between each inhalation, between inhalation and exhalation. There is a pause in between, and I notice that pause, and I let my energy be immersed in that pause. And then also after the exhalation, there is a moment of pause too. And again, I allow my energy, to be encompassed by that pause. And each pause and each attention to the inhalation and exhalation, as well as the pause, brings me to this state of simplicity. And then my mind is able to see a little bit more clearly and not be as confused as when I'm, constantly engaging in the world, constantly being distracted by social media, by information that's being shared by the news. All of this stuff can feel very complex and very confusing. So coming back to the breath, we can simplify our attention and gather and really notice how this practice can change this state that we are often in, this state of frenzy, this state of being scattered. And then we see simple action to take. We see clearly, okay, this is what I can do, this small simple move in this direction to make a change in my own personal life, or in the world out there. And it's a small step, it's a very, very small step. And then we take the next small step, and we notice the energy of these small steps when we're connecting back to the breath, because we're noticing the energy of the simple inhalation and exhalation. So it's a beautiful practice, and I would highly recommend that you do this often, as many times as you can during the day, to just connect back to breath, and simplify your life. And I'm not talking about simplify the external, that, you know, those actions, and knowing what actions to take will come. But we have to start with this practice, and then we can kind of branch out from this practice and find more simple solutions to complex problems.